5 things to know when working with Israeli people. When you start working with Israeli people, there are a few things that might stand out to you. Israel is a small country with a unique culture shaped by its history, geography, and people. Here are 5 key things to keep in mind when you're collaborating with Israelis. One of the first things you'll notice is that Israelis tend to communicate very directly. They say what they mean and mean what they say. This directness can sometimes come across as blunt or even rude if you're not used to it, but it's not intended to offend. In fact, it's often seen as a sign of respect. They're being honest with you. So if you're working with Israelis, don't be surprised if they give you straightforward feedback. It's not personal, they just prefer to get to the point. In many cultures, people might beat around the bush to avoid conflict or hurting someone's feelings. Israelis, on the other hand, value efficiency and clarity. If something isn't working, they'll tell you directly so you can fix it and move forward. This can actually make collaboration easier and more productive once you get used to it. Number 2 you need to know is the value of chutzpah. Chutzpah is a Yiddish word that's often used to describe a certain boldness or audacity. In Israeli culture, chutzpah is generally seen as a positive trait. It's about having the courage to speak up, take risks, and challenge the status quo. Israelis are often encouraged to think outside the box and push boundaries, which is why you'll see a lot of innovation and entrepreneurship in Israel. Don't be surprised if your Israeli colleagues challenge ideas or suggest unconventional approaches. They're not trying to be difficult, they're just wired to think creatively and aren't afraid to take risks. If you can embrace this mindset, you might find yourself coming up with some great ideas together. 3. A high tolerance for ambiguity. Israelis are generally comfortable with uncertainty and change. This might be because Israel is a young country with a history of conflict where adaptability is crucial. As a result, Israelis tend to have a "we'll figure it out" attitude. They don't need to have all the details before they start a project. They're confident they can adapt as they go along. If you're someone who likes to have everything planned out in advance, this might take some getting used to. However, working with Israelis can teach you to be more flexible and adaptable. You'll learn that it's okay to start something even if you don't have all the answers, as long as you're willing to adjust along the way. 4. The importance of relationships. In Israel, relationships are key. Israelis place a high value on personal connections, and this extends into the workplace. Building trust and rapport with your colleagues is crucial. Don't be surprised if work meetings sometimes start with personal chit-chat, or if your Israeli coworkers invite you to social events outside of work. They want to get to know you as a person, not just as a colleague. Investing time in building relationships can pay off in the long run. Once you've established a good rapport, you'll find that your Israeli colleagues are extremely loyal and supportive. They'll go out of their way to help you, both professionally and personally. So take the time to get to know them. It will make your collaboration much smoother. 5. Work-life balance. Despite being very hardworking and driven, Israelis also value their time off. Israel has a strong culture of family and community, and many Israelis make a point to disconnect from work during evenings, weekends, which in Israel is Friday and Saturday, and holidays. This is especially true during Shabbat, the Jewish day of rest, which begins at sundown on Friday and ends at sundown on Saturday. Many Israelis observe this by spending time with family and avoiding work. Why is this important? Respecting this work-life balance is important when working with Israelis. If you send an email on a Friday evening, don't expect a response until Sunday. Understanding this will help you plan your work schedules and deadlines more effectively. Also, showing that you respect their time off will go a long way in building a good working relationship. Working with Israeli people can be a rewarding experience. Their directness, boldness, flexibility, emphasis on relationships, and respect for work-life balance all contribute to a dynamic and innovative work environment. By understanding and embracing these cultural traits, you'll be better equipped to collaborate effectively and enjoyably with your Israeli colleagues. Thank you and see you next time. Hey, and don't forget to give me a like.